What's up, fish tankers? Jedediah Cucumber Striker back for another little swamp recap. So much has happened over the past few days, so let's just try and speed run this intro here. Give a like to the video to help me in the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more fish tank content. Let's get that up to 4K. I think I'm about to hit that, so that'd be pretty sick. And without further ado, here is your review. Day 11. Ben tells Brian and CK that one of them has to go in the next 30 minutes. They deliberate for about 5, with CK deciding to go home, and Ben comes in and kicks her out. CK was looking for some kind of heartfelt goodbye between the two of them, but Brian didn't really seem to want to give it to her. I think he's still mad that she even showed up in the first place. And then we get introduced to our newest contestant, Taylor. It's a little unclear if she's a freeloader or an actual fish, because unlike all the other freeloaders up until now, her profile was added to the list of contestants onto the fish board. I do believe Jet does come out at some point and mentions that no, she is actually just a freeloader, but again, it's very strange. Either way, it seems like she's a sane version of what Summer was supposed to be. Judge prompts Nifty to play the role of HR for Jimmy, whose wild racially activated rants are getting the house in trouble.
Try to just take it down. You're like somewhere on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at like a 9.5. We need you to take it down to like, yeah. Do you think you could dial it down to maybe like a 2, 2.5?
This is me at a 3.
Which is gaslighting, but it was a reason to give her a bit. Jet announces enforced bedtimes and morning coffee and newspaper readings. Basically, it's just a way to give a little more structure to the tank for the viewers so they don't have to stay up till 6 a.m. to see everything that's happening. Then in one of the wildest moments from this season, a moment where I even began to question, is this going too far?
There we go. Hold on.
Trisha gets pulled into B2 to inspect her hair. Ben tells her that there's been so many TTS messages asking if she's wearing a wig or if her hair is actually real that they no longer have the manpower to deny them all. Ben is inspecting her hair, and then Josie comes in to help with the examination. The exam at this point turns into less of a is your hair real into just a more of like a general medical exam. They start investigating her scalp for lice. They start checking her teeth and her eyeballs, her tongue, etc. Just a way to embarrass her pretty much. She is then given 2 cigarettes to smoke while this is all going on. And then Vance comes in as well and forces her to drink a gallon of water. Sam comes in and starts cutting her hair. And Trisha begins to cry, and it's very uncomfortable.
Careful,
No.
I got scissors here, careful.
No, please.
Stop. Stop. Turn. Stop giggling.
Relax.
Stop giggling. Stop giggling.
Chillax.
This is part of the process.
Why?
That's a wig that's literally a wig. Do you think we're stupid?
Trish.
Chill out.
Trish. Okay. That looks way better. Nah. I get those 2 here. There we go. Hold on.
Watching her just stand there and cry, unable to do anything as Gold Striker is cutting her hair without consent, it was a tough watch. It was a tough watch. I think this is probably the first moment of season 2 where I started to question, is this crossing the line? After leaving her there crying, Gold Striker returns not too long after to try and lighten the mood.
You have 6 going?
We got 2 cigs. She still got 2 cigs.
Lit. Good. All right. Trish, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm trying to grow my hair out, Brian.
Well, now it's a done
Josie
deal.
don't get her cooties
You
on
don't
yet.
have to worry about it anymore.
Trisha tries to pour the water on him while laughing and crying simultaneously.
You're such a bitch.
Hold on, I need to see how you process that water.
No.
It's not pouring water, it's drinking water.
Oh my god, I can't believe
You just need water. You just need a little more water.
Get out your.
You need the water. You need to drink a gallon of water.
Water will make you feel better.
You're dehydrated. hydrate.
You're not thinking straight because you haven't been drinking enough water. Hey! That's not very nice.
Do something about it.
Do not wet Ben.
Why?
Trish,
Because why?
that is
How is he supposed to function if he's wet?
I don't know.
Now I'm soaking.
Do you want some, Josie?
No.
Josie didn't do anything to you.
Josie!
Trish,
You did this to yourself.
Trish, you did this
You
to
stinky ass.
No.
It smells so bad.
That's very...
Do you not
You better
shower?
watch out messing around with that game.
You smell.
Things gonna get you.
Like B.O.
You're being rude to me.
I don't care. You cut my hair off.
No, I didn't. I didn't cut your hair. You look way better. You look better.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Though. You look way better.
You're gonna kill
You
you.
look better.
Oh!
Josie's face in all this is hilarious. Gold Striker runs away and is hiding on the other side of the door while Josie moves out the splash zone. They then tape her mouth shut as she tries to assault the judge with water and steal his hat.
You cannot take the judge's hat.
Why not?
Because something very bad will happen if you start stealing from the judge. Drop the water. No.
Yeah, I'm really upset.
It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is.
No,
you
it's
want to
not.
go bald?
I already am.
Well, I want you extra bald.
You're gonna look like me when you grow up. No.
Oh my god.
And in a moment that seemed even more uncomfortable than the last, Jimmy tries to console her, and you can clearly see Trisha's body language. She is completely creeped out by him. With Trisha now back in the living room crying and telling everyone what happened, Nifty tells her that this probably violated the contract that they had to sign, implying that she should sue production. Gold Striker returns and lets Trisha give him a haircut in retaliation.
Don't cut my skin, you ghetto piece of
I'm not getting anything for this.
You're getting to cut my hair, dumbass.
Okay, dumbass.
You smell like Ben. His musk is on you.
Yeah, probably because he was touching me.
Yeah, he was. Alright. You've officially taken more. Give me those.
Good job.
Sit down.
And also giving her a pep talk.
Are you gonna pull it together and win? Mm-hmm. Stop crying. Those people, they're your friends now. They're not your friends when it's time. Who's gonna get the money? Be strong. You are now much higher on the crowd favorite list. Alright? You good? Alright.
Jimmy then pulls Trisha aside and things get even more uncomfortable sexually. The judge then sits down Nifty in B1 and tells her that she broke the NDA of the contract, and also getting her to admit that she would like to be paid under the table to avoid taxes. He then tells her that the lawyers have asked her to count this plate of grains of rice. Nifty, completely oblivious to the giant target she has now painted on her back from production, tries to go to bed early. From this point forward, it's pretty well established that production are just trying to abuse her now. That night, and pretty much every night that follows, when she tries to go to bed early, they play sound effects in her room constantly, and members of production will periodically enter the room for really silly reasons. This includes a pizza party.
You're a Sprite guy.
I'm a Sprite guy. You guys like Diet
I
Coke a lot.
have never.
As well as Jet trying to watch his Minecraft YouTube videos. Continuing the idea of trying to break Nifty mentally, the fish are tasked with tricking her into saying the N-word on camera. Trisha is successful, sort of. After they all leave and Jimmy stays behind, it is worth noting that I think it was the day before, the judge had offered Jimmy $1,500 if he could get more than a kiss out of Nifty. Jimmy, trying to win the money, makes things even more uncomfortable than they were with Trish and is promptly asked to leave.
Okay, can you go now, please?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for respecting my boundaries.
Gold Striker then has to sit Jimmy down and tells him that he needs to stop being involuntarily physical with the women. A red herring for events to come.
From now on, anytime there's a woman involved, it's imperative. You know what imperative means? It is essential. It is imperative that you obtain consent.
Of course.
Okay? From now on, before physical touch is even initiated, we got to get that verbal consent.
I see.
Okay?
I understand.
And I think if you play by those rules, we'll avoid jail time We'll have a bunch of happy campers over here, and no Simmons reference intended, and we'll have a good old-fashioned time.
Brian calls a beef on Jimmy, which Jimmy loses and places him in the doghouse. Day 12. All throughout the early mornings of day 12, TTS had been harassing Taylor, telling her to kiss TJ. Wanting to go to bed, she eventually succumbs to the peer pressure.
Okay, it's quick.
Yes. Everything will be peace. You'll get more out of this.
Okay, quick kiss.
After the fish get some sleep, they're told to put on facial masks, which are clearly blackface. They are then tasked with a two-face challenge.
Now they look good, don't they? Misa think they look good. First we're gonna play a little game. Now this game is simple. If you know about me, you know that I'm a swamp man originally. I'm from the swamp.
Phase 1 is to act like monkeys and run around with spears, saying ooga booga.
And say what we told you to say when you stab somebody with the spear. Ooga booga! Ooga booga! Keep saying it a few more times, son. Ooga booga! Ooga booga!
And then they play swamp hide and seek. When they're found, they also have to say ooga booga. That's when we are introduced to the newest freeloader, Dunye. Douanier? A gay black man. The funniest bit so far with Douanier was production arguing with chat over how to spell his name. At one point, someone even has to send a TTS being like, how do you spell your name? Which didn't really seem to clear things up. It actually took like a couple days for his name to be spelt right on the website. His personality is laborious. He constantly talks about nothing. He's a bit of a non-tent queen. Maybe I'm being a little biased here, but he reminds me of someone that used to work for me, so I don't like him at all. And now's probably a good time to do a little recap on my current thoughts on the current crop of freeloaders. Nifty is obviously there because she's an extremely annoying woke Karen type that the audience can unite in hating and abusing. I didn't get her at first, but I see the light now. Taylor, outside of being really pretty, actually has a cool personality, and her attachment to TJ, whether or not that's genuine or being guided by production, has given her a lot of screen time for us to get to know her, and it seemed to also open up TJ, endearing him even more to the fans. After hide and seek, the fish are given an immunity challenge. The Swamp Olympics. They're split into two teams of 4, TJ and Brian being the team captains. They are placed in B1 and B2 respectively, and are given 60 cigarettes to smoke between the two groups. TJ's team seemed to falter as him and Taylor don't smoke at all, leaving Jimmy and Shinji to pick up the slack. Team Brian, on the other hand, go beast mode, sucking down those ciggies, with Brian smoking 8 at a time, and both rooms being completely destroyed from cigarette smoke. The visuals on this was like insane. There was so much smoke, it actually ended up setting off the smoke alarms multiple times. They even had to like air out the rooms because it was just getting too crazy. After completing phase 1, Brian's team rushes to the kitchen for phase 2, the hot dog eating challenge. There's 40 hot dogs that need to be eaten between each group. Taylor, a recovering anorexic, apologizes to her dad for vomit relapsing, to empty her stomach making more room, and disrespecting Sensei Scott's dojo mats. The rest of Brian's team follows Tay's lead and contributes to Puke Mountain. When TJ's team finally makes their way to the kitchen, Taylor declares that she doesn't eat meat and makes a deal with Jimmy for him to eat the hot dogs and for her to eat the buns. Team Brian moves on to phase 3, exercising, and it's at this point that TJ's team has been morally defeated. TJ had given up during the smoking challenge, and Jimmy and Taylor both had given up during the hot dog eating challenge. In Jimmy's Reddit brain, he felt that Taylor was the weak link of the group, even though he had also given up on the hot dog eating challenge, and can't temper his emotions, going Ava Unit 1 berserk mode.
Shut the f*** up, don't look at me in that tone of voice. You eat that bread like you promised. Shut the f*** up. You sound like this disgusting cunt that took my sister to a nudie bar in Mexico. Are you gonna do your work or grab you by the hair and throw you down the hallway? You think I care about prison? You should have been. Yeah. Fight me! No.
You could see Goldstriker sensing the tension building in the room and pulls Jimmy off of Taylor before he assaults a woman. Also good to note here, during this lunge, Jimmy's nose touched Taylor's nose, but there was no like serious physical damage done. After he is told to step aside from Taylor, he then threatens Tay Lee and is now being put on timeout at the bar.
What's your team, man?
Shut the f*** up, I ain't no goddamn cat, you dumb
There's
cat.
no with your fucking team!
Fight me!
I will!
Fight me!
Fucking Christ!
Fight me!
Go with your fucking team!
Do me a favor, can you just stay in the seat? Okay?
The judge and Jimmy take a picture to commemorate the cool down.
7,
2,
Huh?
7,
3,
Oh, so, yeah.
Here, I got it.
Let's get a selfie together.
6,
10,
7, 8,
11, Nice. 12.
And then he is pulled into B1 to be updated on his current status. But his apology instantly turns into him rambling about why he's the victim in all of this. Surprise, surprise.
You can't, you cannot get physical with girls. If you stay on the show, it's going to be because she forgave you and somehow in her mind made it cool with what just happened, which would be a very forgiving thing of her to do. And if Taylor decides that you get to stay, you have to be nice to her, you have to apologize to her, and...
I mean, look, obviously I was planning to apologize. It's just the heat of the moment. It's like, you said you were going to eat the bread, bro. You said you were going to eat the bread.
Okay. Even if a girl doesn't eat the bread for you, you cannot... Don't even raise your voice.
It's just like, with her looking like, it's like...
No, just like, no, I don't care what she looks like. I don't want to hear any... Doesn't matter. I don't care about anything you're going to say. I want you to not get physical with a girl in this house.
Okay.
He then begins his apology, which is super cringy.
I'm so sorry. I swear to you. I hate being angry. I just... If it was me, TJ, should you for elimination? God damn it. I have nowhere to go back to after this, and that's not an excuse to be mean to you.
It's melodramatic and mostly about how hard his life has been and why he hates his anger issues.
I hate being mad at people. I never wanted to be mad at you or anyone. I tried everything.
Ground team, was that loud enough? Jimmy, unfortunately, you do have to... Just let's start from the top and just do it loud enough that the mics can pick it up.
What?
The whole apology.
It was hard enough to eat all those hot dogs. I'm not making excuses, but it was hard enough to eat them all without throwing up then.
The judge and Jet constantly have to make him restart, putting him back on track.
The audience is upset. Jimmy, can you stop talking about yourself and focus on Taylor, how you made her feel? Just apologize for real.
I have been apologizing for real, and I understand that Taylor was no doubt scared
Jimmy,
shitless.
to be fair, Jimmy, we are kind of focusing on what's wrong with your life, and I think what we want to focus on is making this other person feel that you're remorseful.
I didn't mean to truly threaten you. I didn't.
Making sure he stops talking about himself and actually considers how Taylor may have felt in all this.
I'm truly sorry. I can't imagine the fear and pain you...
Also, we get a dude's rock moment between the judge and Shinji. After his self-centered, half-assed apology, it has come to the conclusion that Jimmy may stay. He's allowed to stay, but they're putting him under a 10-foot restraining order from all of the women in the house. TJ's team will have to compete in an elimination challenge, which will be stand-up, taking place on January 1st, and then TJ rings the beef bell on Jimmy for acting as a bad teammate and disrespecting his girl. They compete in swamp wrestling, but unfortunately TJ loses, and then Jimmy loses it.
Boy, I'm not letting you back. I'm with y'all.
While TJ is in the doghouse, Brian steals TJ's chips. After TJ putting his trust in Brian had told him where he was hiding them, now breaking their trust, Brian returns the chips to TJ, while basically forcing him to pledge allegiance to him. Day 13. We get group therapy session number 2. The topic du jour is Ben and the judge revealing how the game truly works, how they engineered Josie to win season 1, and even used the beef between Jimmy and TJ as an example, how they set TJ up to lose. During the session, Brian and Trish are briefly pulled aside into the attic to finally reveal its true meaning.
This is where the actual game starts. That down there is an audition in the den.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Put the pieces together. Think about what that means. This is also a secret. You're not to tell anybody about this place.
Absolutely.
Back in the therapy session, we get a brand new freeloader randomly getting added with no real introduction. Delaney. Again, my opinions are going to have to be TBD up until this point, but from what I've seen so far, she actually seems to have less of a personality and less of a distinct character than everybody else in the house. But with Nifty, for instance, it did take a bit of time for it to be revealed what Jet's plan for her actually is. So let's give a little leeway here, boys. Before we jump into the activities of the day, there is like a couple notes that I do need to go over about things that are happening outside of the actual game that seem to be like they're going to affect the meta narrative going forward. First is Summer's leaked voicemails to Jet. I don't think it's truly known how these got leaked. Allegedly it was some 14-year-old.
The only person who tipped me off was the guy who held me down and touched my boobs. Everyone else was very convincing. The nurses are really nice. They're giving me no reason to believe that they're fake. However, because of the guy, I won't change my mind. That's why I think you should really consider having me on the show so I can help you guys make this right. Think about this.
But essentially, they're a collection of dozens and dozens of voicemails left on Jet's phone that total in about, it was like more than 46 minutes of voicemails here. They're all very schizo, which I guess is on brand. The topics range from her apologizing to her accusing Jet and the staff of SA, and then going back to apologizing, and then even professing that she is in love with Jet Neptune. This could just be Summer actually being schizo, or this could be part of an ARG for Season 2. An ARG stands for an alternate reality game. An alternate reality game is an interactive network narrative that uses the real world as a platform and employs transmedia storytelling to deliver a story that may be altered by the player's ideas or actions. The form is defined by intense player involvement with a story that takes place in real time and evolves according to the player's responses. It is shaped by characters that are actively controlled by the game's designers, as opposed to being controlled by an AI as in a computer or console video game. Players interact directly with the characters in the game, solve plot-based challenges and puzzles, and collaborate as a community to analyze a story and coordinate real-life and online activities. ARGs generally use multimedia such as telephones and mail, but rely on the internet as a central binding medium. Jet Neptune originally started working with MDE through his work on an ARG called WorldCorp. And if we're going with the idea of there being actors in the tank and it's not just a gaslighting thing that they're using to mess with people, if that is real, and if we're going down that thought path, then there is a world, there is a realm of possibility where Summer, this whole time, has been an actor, and everything that's transpired after she's left the show, her posting a picture from a mental institution, her account later getting hacked by someone, some like 14-year-old boy, and then the voicemails getting leaked. It is possible that all of that is actually just part of an ARG style narrative that's being attached to Season 2. Reddit user CanadianClassicss posted his theory on this that I thought was pretty interesting. I'll leave a link in the description for that. But also it's possible that she's just crazy. The second thing I need to mention is TJ's online presence has been leaked to the internet as well. Some of these are a little more innocent, like his Letterboxd account, but another was an account that he used to comment on Prawn. Going by the username LubeCooch, his Prawn comments are pretty deranged, essentially making comments about incest, bestiality, and drinking cum. Initially, I thought it was going to be so over for TJ Maxers, but he actually gained endorsements on the site since this happened. So go figure. But either way, you're going to start hearing TTSs of LubeCooch, and that's what that's in reference to. I don't know if they're going to use this to like gaslight him on something in the near future. The new challenge of the day was to call someone out in a 2-minute wrestling style promo against another contestant of your choosing.
Now, back when I was a youngin', would you believe it if I told you that my grandpappy had himself a color TV? Oh boy, we had us a color TV. But you know what? We wasn't allowed to watch none but wrestling. We wasn't allowed to watch anything except for wrestling. I know. Here's your challenge, straight from the swamp. Y'all are gonna take 15 minutes and write me a wrestling promo. The winner's gonna get. I didn't have time to count. I went to the bank this morning. I didn't have time to count. I didn't have time to open it up. Oh, this plastic is finicky. I don't know how to get in there. I don't even know how to get in there.
The standouts were Brian.
I'm gonna grab you up by the top of your head and spin you around until all that stupid bullshit you've been doing gets knocked out right out of your motherfucking head.
Taylor.
She has to be with multiple people at a time because no one can stand being around her for more than 5 minutes. She thinks she can run this tank, but she can't even stand on her full foot and always walks around on her fucking...
And of course, TJ.
I'm calling you out to the ring. Not the sumo ring. The wrestling ring. The wrestling ring. Son, I'm literally jumping and hopping on you, man. You're gonna wish you were at Hiroshima, man. Shinji, don't try to hide from me with that ninja voodoo.
Perhaps foreshadowing how he will perform in the stand-up elimination challenge. He really like broke through his mental shell, his stage fright, so to speak, and really like gave a pretty awesome performance here. The prize was a bundle of swamp cash totaling $1,040 because the judge added $20 bills to the top and the bottom of the cash stack. The stream freezes for a bit, and when it goes back live, the fish are trolled by production being told to freeze frame and hold position until the stream is back up and running.
Hold steady, guys. We're almost back online, okay?
TJ is having anxiety over telling Brian the location of his chips, telling the judge, who doesn't really seem to care.
People experience this in life. When they don't listen to me, they end up feeling dumb. Very familiar to me. Good talk.
Okay. Sorry.
For what? Oh, shit.
And this is where we get our first use of the attic with TJ. Basically, the judge runs a one-on-one therapy session and plays with his head. TJ's inability to think on his feet or answer questions in a timely fashion kind of really drew this bit out, even towards the end of it. Gold Striker kept having to tell him to answer the questions faster, which only made him answer less questions. Like, he wouldn't even be able to form thoughts at this point.
Do you hear the laughter in the basement ever?
Yeah.
What do you think we're laughing at?
Sometimes, I don't know, me or just general stuff happening in the house.
Why would we be laughing at you?
I don't know, like, just,
Think faster, please.
Like, just, I don't know, like, I don't know, like how awkward I am sometimes, or that, I don't know, how awkward conversations I have at times.
He tells TJ that the winner of the competition needs to be part of the initiative group.
This logo is the logo for the initiative group. The initiative group, if you want to win the show, you have to be a member of the initiative group. Do you want to be the first member of the initiative group?
So, well, I guess so.
Didn't sound like much of an answer to me. I think we're done here. Come on down.
TJ comes down from the therapy session to a round of applause and is completely confused. The whole segment with the clapping included seemed to be like part of a ritual entry into like a cult or something like that, which seems to be a theme or even possibly the theme of season 2. Again, go check out that Reddit post as this is also included in that guy's theory. Regardless, TJ's brain seems to be now completely melted and he's starting to lose touch with reality.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know, just confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Brian is then brought into the attic for session 2 and is guided into targeting Taylor for elimination. Shinji, who is now low on chips and won't have enough to make rent, is convinced by some of the other fish to rob Nifty. I skipped over this, but Nifty, she did something, I don't even remember what it was, but like it was total gaslighting where they just gave her 1,000 chips and they're like, oh my god, you did such a good job even though she did nothing. And then they did the same thing with, I believe, the wrestling promo. They also gave her, so she has like 2,000 chips, way more than anybody else in the house. Shinji ends up stealing the chips from her, but now feeling guilty, ends up abstaining himself from the plunder, but the chips are then divided between the rest of the fish involved. Douanier, who had chips stolen from him the day before, comes down and hears all the commotion, blaming Shinji and then Trish for stealing his chips. Even though they were both innocent, he rings the bell of beef and defeats Trish, who now has to spend the night in the doghouse.